Today on EA Sports. It's week 12 of the NFL on EA Sports. It's the Baltimore Ravens taking on the Minnesota Vikings.
We are pleased as always to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. Today it's week 12 of the NFL season, and we've got a good one in store between the Minnesota Vikings and the Baltimore Ravens. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you look at this Raven team as they get ready here. The losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
And no run back here, so they'll bring it out to the 25. So here come the Ravens now, ready to get the football for the first time. And they'll be led out by their ninth-year quarterback.
I tell you what, when he is on schedule for that week, secondaries take notice because you've got to stay alert back there on every snap. A truly powerful arm, one that's capable of challenging any level of the defense on any given play. That's why so many scouts preach arm talent when preparing for the NFL draft. A quarterback with arm strength to make every throw in the book, he's an asset to have in any offense.
Now a play fake here on first down. And his first pass is incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got second and third down to fall back on.
On second down now, Atkins. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. And they'll look to avoid an early 3 and out here on 3rd and 4. Back to throw. Quinn. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free. And it brings up 4th down. The Ravens send their punter out now. He'll kick it away after a 3 and out on the opening drive of the game. He punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Pulled in at the 24. And that'll be a return of 12 following a very nice punt. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. And they'll be led out by a guy who has a couple years under his belt in the NFL, their 3rd-year quarterback.
And he's certainly putting together an MVP-type season, leading the league in both passing yards and touchdown passes. There have not been too many defenses that have been able to stop him or even slow him down. So he's got his sights set on another big game right here.
Good starting field position for the Vikings as they have it 1st and 10 at their 35-yard line. Throwing to start the drive. Gary, and he's got Booker. The numbers for him from a week ago, and you figure that he'll probably be a big factor in this one as well.
No question about it, partner. We just saw it right there. They want to get him the ball in space and see what he can do after the catch.
Looking to throw on second down. Gary, he finds his man, complete. That's Logan. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. That'll wind up a gain of 27 on the catch and run. So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 as they're down to the 29-yard line. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away.
So, Charles, you talk about this offense, how well they've played. I mean, the defense, too, really. But they're sitting at 10-0 now on the year. 4-0, 5-0, that's nice. But once you start hitting double digits with these wins and no losses, I think the seriousness of the situation, it just has to ramp up.
Yeah, and when you do say 10-0, it can't scare you as a team. Just think about it this way. For most of the year, they've been playing to win their division and get to the playoffs. Now the playoffs are just about a foregone conclusion. So now they have to down-focus their thoughts about getting home field advantage and finishing unbeaten, and they need to make sure they keep it in that order.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Dancing to his left. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up 2nd down. Another shot from the 9 on 2nd and goal. Back to throw again. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. The catch good for 6 yards, but now it's 3rd and goal.
And that doesn't have to gain big yardage to be an impactful play, because if you get those pass rushers second-guessing themselves that they might get hit with a screen, maybe you can wind up slowing them down just a step. And if you do that, that's a win for that.
And he will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. A great play there.
With his 6th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Vikings get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. So that a great sequence for these guys to begin the ball game. They force the punt on one end, then come right down the field and score on the other.
And that's a great example of leaning on each other and building a little momentum that way. How about the defense forcing the punt, turns it over to the offense with confidence, and they take it downfield and score.
Extra point splits the uprights, and it's now a 7-0 game. Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Baltimore set to take over here for their 2nd possession of the game.
Well, partner, fast forward with me for a second. Remember, next week they have the open week, so they're going to get some extended rest. Does that change how they manage the rest of this one?
I think it does a little bit, but not by too much, because you're right. You get the extra rest, you get a chance to heal up and kind of, do a little bit of a reset for this team. But it's also 7 extra days to think back to the last time you were on the field. So now, a little more importance on what they're getting done, because they carry it with them for essentially 2 weeks.
Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Part of their struggles last week was getting these negative plays on 1st and 2nd down. That's something they have to be wary of as this game continues.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Looking to throw. Quinn. Complete to Kelly. 2 yards on the pickup there. And that's going to set up a tough 3rd and 9.
This defense for the Vikings, they were terrific a week ago in the win over Washington.
And one of the key things you always look for when you're evaluating a defense is how opportunistic are they? How many takeaways do they get per game? And how about last week's game? That number, 6. Absolutely phenomenal performance.
The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. It'll be a loss of 8 on the sack, and it's going to lead them to 4th down. You know darn well both of these teams reviewed the film and saw that this defense had 5 sacks last week. They got to keep their QB upright.
And they're going to try their best to do exactly that. But they're facing a team where getting to the quarterback is a mindset. It's a mantra for them. And they play a game within the game. And you know what it is? Let's race to the quarterback and see who gets there first.
His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. It'll be a net of 40 yards following a punt of 44.
And it will be Vikings ball, 1st and 10.
The Vikings taking the field here for their 2nd drive of the game.
And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're #1 in their conference.
On 1st and 10, Gary. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll be stopped at the 35, but not before he picks up 7 yards. Off the play fake. Gary, he's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And, oh, that would get a wind up incomplete. Nearly an interception in the end zone. Probably should have been. 3rd down coming up. And here's a handoff out of the gun. And he'll be tackled about 2 yards shy of the line to gain. A 1-yard pickup leads to 4th down. They'll try and run for it. And a hard-working run here as he's got it inside the 20, down to the 17. That one good for 17 yards on 4th. Couldn't ask for much more from your offense there. 1st down. I love those plays. 4th and 1. That's who wants it more. This time the offense.
Yeah, there's a lot of hooting and hollering in there, right? A lot of contact and a lot of collisions as they try and find some space. Who's going to drop their hips, gain leverage, and move the other side backwards? We saw it there for the offense getting it done.
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. And the Ravens will take over here at their own 12-yard line.
And as we've seen, points have been precious so far, and they just threw some away on that snap. And look, let's face it, as we advance further into this game, that play will be on the minds of everyone who's watching it. They wonder if this is the turning point. Is this the spot where those points were given away and could cost them a ball game?
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And they have the game here followed by the open date on their calendar next weekend. And Charles, this is a crew that you have to think really is relishing the opportunity to be on the couch for a few days.
Yeah, they certainly are, but let's face it, partner, they can't get caught looking ahead to that couch time while they're playing this one. They've got to take care of business first.
And this is caught. I think he got that with one hand. His first catch, good for 8 and a 1st down. Back to throw. Quinn. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. It looks like a 12-yard loss there on the 1st down sack. After 7-0 on EA Sports. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. Up the middle they go. Atkins. They'll get him to the ground at the 20 following a pickup of 4.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
And this play comes to a halt at the 33, and obviously that's well short of the 1st down. It'll be a pickup of 13, but it'll still lead to a 4th down. The Ravens send their punter out now as he's on to kick it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. This will be fielded at the 17, and he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 30. So a good punt, but a solid 12-yard return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. So here are the Vikings to take over. They've got the lead yet again in this ball game with their winning streak right now sitting at 10.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29. They'll bring a receiver in motion right. And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. 25 yards there on the catch and run.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
There's a ball thrown right side and complete. Down inside the 10. Touchdown, Vikings. A great effort there with touchdown number 23 here on the year. And the Vikings go up by 2 touchdowns. Boy, Charles, this offense is just so explosive. They lead the league in scoring, and another example of just how good they are right there on that play.
Yeah, we often overstate about how explosive teams are, but this team is truly a threat to score on every snap, especially on the first few plays of any series. And a big streak like that only adds to their reputation as the league's best offense.
Point after, right down the middle. And it's now 14-0. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
The return man down to a knee, and this will come out to the 25-yard line. The Ravens ready to take over.
And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay.
Finding space at the 40.
The catch and run, good for 18 and a first down.
These guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half, but I like their countenance. I like the way that they haven't panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They're starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
And he'll be taken down at about the 45.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down. Now a handoff up the middle.
Atkins knifes his way forward here, but just 3 yards on the play. Second down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They look lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
The offense on third down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 7. Up the middle they go. Atkins. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. Ball at a gain of 3, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Partner, that's another short run there, and I think the easy thing is to look at them right now and say, let's get away from them entirely. Let's start throwing the football, but I don't think you ever entirely abandon the run. It helps set a tone for the game for you, keeps your offensive linemen feeling good about themselves, and it actually tamps down a defense's pressure because if you just throw it all the time, it's going to tee off with the pass rush.
Well, Brandon, anything beyond 50, you start rolling the dice a bit. And once you get up around 57, 58 yards, the chances of making it go down dramatically. And sure enough, this one winds up no good.
And now out comes Minnesota.
It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here that could really put them in command before intermission.
And it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But this is the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So how have we seen them combat it? Continue to run your offense, but don't back off at all. Don't start looking at the clock. Don't start thinking about, hey, just take care of the football. Keep attacking. Usually the best way to maintain control.
He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. 51 yards rushing for him now, and he's carried the ball just 5 times.
Well, if they continue to run the football this strong, right up the middle, I don't know if they can wait till halftime to make adjustments. They better find a way to get it done series to series. I don't know if they need to sub some guys out, bring in extra people, maybe change what they're doing on the defensive side of the ball. But right now, they're running the ball very well right at them and right up the middle.
Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and it'll be second and very short.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
And the Vikings are going to be looking at first and goal as they move this down to the 4-yard line. 2 minutes to play first half. It's 14-0. Here's first and goal, and gosh, points here, a chance maybe to put this thing away before halftime. Looking to throw. Gary escaping the pressure right. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up second down. Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line. Second and goal. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. A great play there with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Vikings take a 3-touchdown lead. Well, I don't think that we're ready yet to say the route is on, but they have certainly looked near flawless here in this first half, and now an extra point away from making it 21-0.
Yeah, and your experience led you to say that, because we have both seen those 21-0 leads come and go in this league, but this one feels pretty darn secure. And here's the other part. Even when people chip away at it, it forces you into being almost perfect on the other side, doesn't it, in order to try and mount a comeback.
Extra point right down the middle, and it's now 21-0. Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away. And from back there, a wise move. He'll just sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field.
Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here, because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession, but I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer, because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. And if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack.
He continues, Charles, to be under constant pressure, and these sacks, they're starting to pile up.
And if they want to have a realistic chance in this one, they've got to change their blocking assignments. They've got to do a better job to keep him upright. If he's going to be on the deck constantly, they've got no chance to win this game.
And the Vikings are going to beef up their secondary here. 6 DBs on third. Waiting from the gun. Quinn. Throwing left side, it's complete. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. So the ball moves from 138 to the other as they come up on 1st and 10.
Back to throw. Quinn. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number one. They'll look to throw again. This will be caught by Brown.
And he'll be brought down at the 27.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Again, he'll drop to throw. And it'll be intercepted.
And the Vikings are going to take possession here at their own 3-yard line.
He's at it again, Charles. He had the pick 6 last week. Not a pick 6 here, but an interception.
It's another Oski, because that's the word we use when we intercept a pass. Oski tells your team to rally around and block for you. Well, that worked really well last week because he made it all the way to the end zone. This week he got the Oski, maybe not a touchdown, but boy, he's playing really well.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
And with a 21-0 lead already, no need really to take any unnecessary risks.
They'll start this drive out on the ground. And defensively, they're just looking to keep him contained as they're able to get him down. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, bye weeks, they're over. We've once again got a full slate of games to get to as we take you around the NFL here in Week 12. From there we say, so long, America. Hello, England. As we head over the Atlantic to check out the action in London. And they have the lead in that one over the visiting L.A. Chargers. The Black Knights seem to be on their way to what would be a good victory. Finally, let's get down to Houston. Check on the Texans at home at NRG Stadium. And they trail in that ball game to the visiting Tennessee Titans. The Titans trying to gut this one out as it would be a good victory for them if they could get it. Meanwhile, our game has been a boat race. Very one-sided to this point. And for the call of the second half, let's get it back to our commentating team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half.
And we'll see a return here from the end zone. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29.
Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. They'll start on the ground here on first down. And he'll be tackled at about the 35.
77 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
The last run got 6. Now 2nd and 4. Operating from the gun. Gary. He's going to float this one deep right side. It's caught inside the 25.
And they're going to move it down to inside the 25.
Already over 1,000 yards receiving this season. That catch is just going to add to his total. Certainly not resting on his laurels. He's trying to continue to gain as many yards as possible and continue this big season.
So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Being chased out left. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away incomplete. Now that'll bring up second down.
Oh, that's good decision-making right there. Understood down and distance. Knew it wasn't third down, and he still had another opportunity to earn the first down. Good job throwing it away and avoiding an interception.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. A great effort there.
His third touchdown of the game, number 9 on the season. And the Vikings take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. So another touchdown there, and even though we're still just here in the third quarter, kind of hard now to see them giving up this lead.
And this is just an offense that's imposing its will right now. You name it, they're able to do it. If you're the play caller, whatever you want to select is there. You want to run it, you want to throw it. Pick a play, any play. They're rocking and rolling right now.
Just a 4-play drive that time.
And the finishing touch was that nice long run into the end zone. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25.
The Ravens offense getting ready now for their first possession of the second half.
CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history. That's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And, partner, you know as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late, that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
And the defense closes quickly there. He'll get maybe a yard to the 33.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Looking to throw.
Quinn.
Well, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
Oh, I thought he had that one, and that was nearly a big third down conversion to give this drive some life. Instead, they're on the spot and help separate the receiver from the ball.
And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. It's a 40-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over.
Minnesota now ready for their next possession. And as the offense begins another drive here, pretty simple, Charles. They want to carbon copy what happened the last time out when they ended their drive in the end zone.
You're right about that, partner. Sounds pretty simple, doesn't it? Just score again, but we know it's not that simple because we don't just make adjustments at halftime if you're a good football team. You spend that time on the sideline, you study what's on the notes and the tablets, and you make those adjustments to prevent a repeat of the last drive. Series to series, the best teams, that's how they get it done.
And we'll find out here soon enough whether those adjustments are enough defensively.
And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on 3rd down?
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game. And while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
On 3rd down, they're going to run for it here. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down.
118 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Eluding the pressure right. Throws right side, and that's complete. Touchdown, Vikings. A big play there.
His 9th touchdown of the season. And the Vikings open the lead up to 34-0.
As he was shuffling right out of the pocket,
You could just tell he was going to take a shot downfield. He had his eyes down there the whole way.
He certainly did. He wasn't taking off to go, right? When he was flush from the pocket, a lot of times you see him, eyes will drop, ball will get tucked, and he takes off, becomes a running back. But as you noted, stayed alive as a passer, tremendous body control, and a pretty good arm there, too.
Extra point splits the uprights, and that makes this 35-0 now. Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away. And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable now. A win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
A good run, got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. Off play action. Quinn. He rifles one that's intercepted. And the Vikings are going to take possession of the football. And right about now, you start to think, and maybe they're starting to think, gosh, maybe points aren't going to happen for us in this game.
Well, it's a thought that is worth having because so far in this game, this defense has not just had the upper hand. They've appeared to be a step ahead, maybe even 2 steps to everything they've done. They've had an answer for everything this offense has thrown at them.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. In motion, the tight end. Throwing to start the drive. Gary, he's going to take a shot right away for the end zone. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
But defensively, you're over there trying to catch your breath and try not to show the offense that you're a little bit fatigued. You're right back out there after the turnover. Now they've got to work towards getting another couple of stops and forcing them into at least a long field goal situation.
They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
It's a 7-yard gain and good enough to move the chains. And they'll run on the inside handoff. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. The pickup goes for 13 and sets him up 1st and goal. It's been an excellent day for him running the football, no doubt, as he continues to soar well past 100 yards.
Yeah, it almost feels like he can just grab his briefcase and head home after putting in a full day's work at the office, doesn't it?
And he'll work his way closer to the goal line as he's got 5 down to the 3. To throw on 2nd down. Gary. And this is going to be intercepted. And the Ravens are going to get the football back as time will run out in this 3rd quarter of play. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And just looking ahead, it would appear that that bye week is coming at the right time. They'll have 2 weeks to chew on this one, though probably not one that they want to chew on. A poor performance from start to finish. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a 1st down. Hard to believe his first catch of the game defensively. They bottled him up. That's why they're well on their way to victory.
Put your best cover guy on him and then change the coverages behind him throughout the game. Brackets, double, zone, man, you name it. Make sure he gets a lot of angles.
That's good. The completion there for 7 yards, and it'll be 2nd down. Operating from the gun. Quinn. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. A great play there.
with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Ravens are finally into the end zone here in this fourth quarter. Point after, right down the middle. And that'll cut the lead down a bit to 28. Here's the kick unit now for the Ravens as they'll send this one away. Taken at the goal line. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. Minnesota's offense takes over possession. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I both enjoy.
We share that.
We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones, and it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season? Those are the things that we could probably discuss.
And collectively, this is about as dominant of a performance as you could have hoped for on both sides of the football.
Might have to put it number one for what we've seen this season.
Looking to throw on second down. Gary, flush to his right. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. 23 yards the pickup there.
There's a beautiful throw there, and he's been sensational the entire game, moving it around, spreading it, hitting the right guys. And look, under normal situations, partner, I would expect him to come out of the game now. They've got it in hand. But you and I have been around this league a long time, and every time we ask head coaches about it, hey, why don't you take your quarterback out when the game's in hand? They just kind of give us that look like that's what he's paid to do. So it's a very unusual situation. I'd want him out. They tend to leave him in.
They'll bring a receiver in motion left. On first down, Gary. Going right side here, and that's complete. And they're going to move it down inside the 25. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
They'll bring a receiver in motion left.
Seven Pirates. Mine 50. Touchdown, defense. 50's the mine. 50's the mine.
He'll try again with the arm here on second down. That is caught at the 7. And the Vikings are going to have a first and goal as he'll be taken down at the 7-yard line. Operating from the gun. Gary toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Well, they're up comfortably here, Charles, but that lead certainly not dissuading them from pressing the envelope late. I mean, if anything, with these passes, it's like they're getting more aggressive to try to drive the ball downfield.
And that will certainly lend itself to some post-game questions for that coach, and maybe you and I should attend that press conference and see what he has to say, because someone's going to ask him why he continued to push it. My guess? He didn't like how some of the snaps.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. A very costly sack there on third and goal pushes him back big time. And now you'd figure the field goal team coming on fourth. Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. Looking left side, and it's complete. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. Another touchdown here in the fourth quarter. And, Charles, I think we can start to consider that this undefeated streak of theirs is going to be safe for another week.
And, partner, you don't make it this far into a season without a loss unless you're getting contributions from both sides of the ball and sometimes even your special teams. And that's been true today. Each side helping guide them to this late lead.
Extra point right down the middle. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And Baltimore's offense set for this next possession. Facing a big fourth quarter deficit here, things not looking good. You know, this offense, though, they've been in the top half of the NFL so far this season, but in this one, well, their defense has really struggled. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Operating from the gun, Quinn. And he will find his big tight end over the middle. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. Throwing on first down. Quinn, throw left side, going to be taken in by Harris. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
To throw on second down, Quinn. And he drops it incomplete, and their struggles continue here. So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Back to throw, Quinn, and that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up. The Ravens send their punter out now as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And well done here. That one will kick out of bounds at about the 8-yard line. The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game. But this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football. Because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on 2nd down. Well, they'll take that every time with a lead. First down, fourth quarter, getting 8 yards. You love that.
They will take it, and you have to ask the defensive guys, why did you give it? I mean, you know the situation. You're down. Have to stop them, have to get the football back. But 8 yards on first down puts them back on their heels.
Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understandably so. Not only did they get the win, but, boy, their offense was on fire in this ball game.
And, partner, I have no idea what the top speed is on one of those high-end sports cars. What's the top gear you can get into? This offense, they certainly were there in this one, huh? Everything clicking for them in this contest, the kind of performance that they're going to cherish.
So for the Vikings, the perfect season remains intact as they move to 11-0 on the year. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Atlanta to take on the Falcons. Meanwhile, for Baltimore, it's another week with more questions than answers as they fall to 3-9. And they'll get the extra week to think about this one as they return to action in 2 weeks' time. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.